Hi, my name is Dat, and this is my final individual technical presentation. As a client, I want the app to automatically show my car model image in my garage so that it is quicker to identify my vehicle in the app. So for this feature, we want to allow the client to add in their vehicle and have the vehicle image automatically show up. What we did was, in the Firebase storage, we create a folder called brands, and then in that folder we create subfolder for each of the car brand. In this case, we only created 3 brand: Toyota, Honda, and Lexus, and in each of those folder we add in a image of each of the model of the brand. So here for Toyota brand, in that folder we have a Camry, Avalon, Venza, and so forth image. And then what we do next is, when the user add a vehicle in their garage, they enter in a make and a model, and that will create a path to the location of the image that's in the storage, and then that location will allow us to return a URL so that we can use that URL to retrieve the image later on. So here's a sequence diagram. So what happened is, the user would create a new vehicle, and once they create a new vehicle, when they pass in that path, brand Toyota, Camry for instance, then it will return a photo URL back to the user, and then here the user can save that photo URL into a Firebase Firestore, into like a collection. And then once they have that URL saved, they can use that URL to retrieve the vehicle image later on back on the storage, and then of course the storage will return a like JPEG image back to the user. As a client, I want to filter my services search so that I can improve my search result. So for this one, we want to allow the client to filter the service by price. So what we do is, in the find service activity, when the user save their filter, their price that they want, it will execute the filter price function, and that will create a numeric refinement object. This object belongs to the Algolia API, and what we can do is we can add this object to the searcher, and then when we perform a search to the Algolia, it will use this numeric refinement to return the appropriate data back to our activity. As a client, I want mechanics that are closer to my address to be ranked higher in my search list so that I can find mechanic that's nearby. So for this feature, what happened was, in order for Algolia to filter by location, it requires us to have the object that contains a latitude and longitude, and the field, the name of it must be _geoloc or geolocation. So what we did was, we extended our service model that we currently have, which was only the object ID, mechanic info, and service. So we create another model that contains the latitude and longitude, and then we just add that or extend it in the service model. So that's why this field matched with the field on Algolia. And then with this information, Algolia can rank the geolocation by distance for us automatically. We just have to enable it inside Algolia. As a client, I want to search for services on Google Maps so that it is easier to see which mechanic is closer to me. So for this one, what we did was we created a map widget which contains a Google map, and for this map widget, it implement the Algolia result listener interface. Well, what this interface allows us to do is retrieve the result every time the searcher is running a search. So this is a observer pattern. So we are registering our map widget to the searcher, since map widget is inheriting the Angular result listener, we can register by running this function, register result listener, and we pass in our map widget. And then every time when the user run a search up here, it will return a result, and that result will update our map, which refresh the Google map and add in the marker. So the search result return some service. So this is a service, and it contains a latitude and longitude. And then when we add in a marker, we just create a latitude and longitude object and then pass it to the Google Map marker, and then it will create a marker where those latitude and longitude is located. As a client, I want the marker to display useful information about the service so that I can see the service information on the map. So this one, we want to create a custom marker window on Google Map. So what we did was we created a marker info adapter, and then we override the get info content. So what this get info content is doing is that it's retrieving the information that we pass to the add marker, which can contain like a title, subtitle, and snippet. And then we create a layout on Android so that it can hold the information. So this layout right here was created in Android. And then we just register the adapter for Google Map by running the set info window adapter. And the reason why we use the Android pattern class, it was because there was no way to pass like a object or any possible to the marker info adapter, because the marker can only contain title, subtitle, and snippets, and snippets were it was just string. So what we did was we passed in a string that contains like key value pair, and then we use regular expression to extract those information. And then once we extract the information, we can add those information onto the layout, map marker info layout. And that's it for my final individual technical presentation. Thank you for listening.